start off by saying congratulations on season two, Halo. That's huge. What has that been like for you building up to this release and now having these episodes come out and get reactions from fans?
This is this is what we do this for, you know. We go through all the ups and downs. It's almost like you put our souls in a blender and you blend it up, and we go through different shades of emotions and anxiety,
Mhm.
confidence, overconfidence, sometimes getting humbled. And we do all that, and we everything we do gets us to this point. So that's part of it. It's a process.
100%. Season one was huge, but obviously season two is bigger, it's better. What can you tell fans to expect if they're just getting onto this ride or if they're diehard fans of the entire genre?
Well, I'm going to start by saying, and I've always said it, and I've been very consistent when I say this. I personally, I hear the fans. I listen to all the criticisms. I love criticisms. What I don't like is a pat on the back, because you don't get better by somebody just saying, "Oh yeah, great job." I'm like, okay, so what can I improve on? And the fans are honest as hell. They'll tell
Mhm.
you.
Yeah.
So criticisms that we got, I responded. I took about a weekend after season one came out because my phone was going off. So I took a week and I tried as much as I could. Saturday and Sunday, late night, I responded to every single fan that sent me a direct message. I mean, I left some out, but I did my best to say, look, we do what's in our power. You get a script, you get a scene, it's given to you, you work with what you got, and then you make suggestions. And of course, because it was such a big machine, nobody knew, how the pieces were going to fit, and you got to think about the Spartans and the armor. Nobody understood because I looked and I watched a lot of sci-fi and I was trying to look for a costume that was as tough as the Spartans and I couldn't find any.
Yeah, no.
I honestly couldn't find any. I mean, the only one that I did find was Iron Man. I think it was the beginning of Iron Man when he was in the Middle East and he I think he created I think it was Batman, one of them, and he
One of
created
them.
yeah, but it wasn't refined yet, and it was very bulky, and that was the closest one. But he didn't have a helmet on, he didn't have his nose and mouth covered. So yeah, all of that was very tough. It was alien territory. Um, it was some people had to put the pride aside and let's figure this out. You know, we had to really figure it out, but we got there in the end. And to be totally honest, we were very happy that we actually finished. you know,
Really?
yeah, that we actually got to the end because remember we did it through COVID. Season one, we went through
That's
COVID,
true.
and it
Yeah.
was a 6 month layoff, and then there was a lot of changes, and it was a 2 year process to get to that 9 episodes in season one. So I think the sense of accomplishment when you achieve something was prevalent, amongst all the cast and the
I
crew.
mean, you achieved it, but you also got a season two, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But I love that you say the fans are very honest because obviously fans are a big part of this series. Do you have a favorite or most memorable fan interaction from your time on this show?
Oh my God! Wow. I got a couple. I would say one that really stood out was there's a young kid that sent me a message and he told me he said he has an idea for an animated project.
Okay.
And yeah, he wanted to develop, and I tried to talk him through it, and then he said he wanted me to partner up with him. But I said, listen, let me tell you something. I don't partner. Because the thing is, if I'm mentoring you, why would I take a percentage? That's weird to me. Like
Mhm.
I want you to do well. So I'll give you the advice and I'll guide you in the right direction. And I want you to take the steering wheel and do well. And there was another guy that he sent me a video and he said he wanted me to say hello to him. So I sent a message that said hello, but he wanted a video of me saying hello. So he sent me another video of him crying that I didn't because I didn't send a video of me saying hello. So I had to go and send a video.
That's commitment.
Yeah, yeah. But I love him. I love him. If only I could just reach and hug him. That would be. I love
We
those
all have
fans.
to have a big fan meetup or something.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Yes, I love that you talk about advice as well, because that kid sounds like a young entrepreneur.
Oh
But
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
what advice do you have for anyone who wants to get into the entertainment industry?
You know what? I actually love that you asked me this question. I've done a lot of interviews and I've never had this question asked. And the thing is, I have so much advice to give. The number one thing that I would say is you really have to have a lot of love and grounding around you personally in your personal life, right? Just so that when you step out into the what I call the weird and wonderful abyss of what's called entertainment, right? Once you step in there, there's going to be a lot of doubt that comes with you being out there. It's like I always tell, because I have a couple of young actors that I mentor too. And I take them under my wing and I talk to them face to face. Like once a month, I meet up with them and I call them when I don't hear from them. And I say, there's a lot of doubt. And once you find yourself doubting yourself, that's when the people that thrive off your doubt will show up. So you really have to know yourself and really have to have grounding, knowing who you are, knowing your morals, knowing how far you would go in any situation. And also, you should not be afraid to fail because that's part of it. And you should be able to see people and know that they're going to judge you and they're going to say things about you. And once you get past that, it's a process. But once you get past that, that's when your creativity and your art blossoms.
100%. I love that. I want to talk more about you and your character. Obviously, first season, now second season. What's that like stepping into this character again? And have you seen him grow or have you learned anything from your time playing him?
Well, the first first season he was the most traditional Spartan that was absolutely emotionally unavailable, right? And literally just stoic and straight to the point. But the funny thing was when I prepped for this role, I went into I'm not a method actor, so let me just get that out the way. But I found myself going into some really deep places, like certain scenes I had to stay away from the rest of the cast before we shot those scenes because there was a scene where I was in conflict with 117 John, and I had to stay away, the whole day before I shot that scene because I didn't want to, be in a space where I was buddy buddy, and then I got to the scene and it translated.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, but overall, when I finished filming and I watched it back, he ended up being actually quite funny. You know, Here's this guy that's so robotic, right? And some things he just doesn't get. And
Mhm.
I ended up laughing at him. I'm like, man, this dude is hilarious. So when we came back for season two, they had a new showrunner that took over, and he noticed that. And
Oh,
then yeah. So his writing in season two was, and plus in season two, that he had taken out his emotional suppressing pellet. So that's gone. So now more of his personality came out, and the writing was just right up my alley. And I said, wow, this is amazing, because I had a lot more than I had in season one. And the banter, just the dialogue that I had, and it was very lighthearted, and it brought a sense of levity to what's otherwise a very grim, gritty, much more grounded, gritty season two. So that added a bit of sprinkles of levity to it.
yeah. And I love the banter. I love that you bring up the cast. Sometimes you have to stay away from them because you don't want to be
Yeah,
too buddy. But
yeah,
that just proves how close this whole cast is. I've seen
yeah,
the Instagram posts, I've seen the reels. I love
yeah.
the communication with each other. Do you have
Yeah.
a favorite moment or memory from your time on this set? Because obviously you've added in some new people as well, but it's
Yeah.
nice to see old friends as well.
Yeah, yeah. My favorite memory comes from season two, and I'll share this with you. I did share it with someone, an interview I did a little while back, but you're the second person, right? So
Okay.
we were in Iceland, right? And we were filming in a waterfall. So we had to get in full armor and we had to be inside the water. So the water came up to about your waist, to your belly, right below your chest. And then the waterfall is falling from the top. So you're in armor with the gun, you're in the water, and the water's falling on you at the same time. And so when you're in the water, right, the ground is slippery because you got a lot of algae on the floor, so you don't know where you're stepping. So the stunt guy, for some reason, he pops out and he's moving like a freaking ninja, and I'm like, "Yo, did you build this ground?" And he's just going around. So he said, "Oh, you just step here, here, here." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So he leaves, and okay, action, and I fall into the water.
Oh no.
So the water goes in the helmet, in the suit, everything, right? And then I get up and, we're shooting take after take. And I tell the 80, I'm like, Dale, listen, I think I got to use the bathroom. And she's like, oh, no, 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 you're fine. We don't have time. We just, do you really, really need to go? I'm like, nah, nah, I'm a soldier. I'm going to soldier on, right? So we keep going. And then after a while, I felt like I didn't need to use the bathroom anymore, right? And I said, okay, like, I don't feel like I need to use the bathroom. And then I start to feel warmth on my body. So
Oh.
I literally took a piss on myself.
You know what? You gotta do what you gotta do. And it's the water. It's no one noticed.
Exactly. That's what I thought. But the thing is, I didn't do it deliberately because the water and the sound of the water, right?
Mhm.
And it was so much just going take after take. And then after a while, I said, man, I feel lighter, you know? So
Oh,
that's my favorite moment from season two.
you know what? It's a memorable one.
It is. No, it is for sure.
But season two, if you could describe it in 3 words, what would they be?
Oh, first word, I would say betrayal, sacrifice, and ooh, enormous.
Okay.
I was gonna say grandiose, but I'll say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll keep it cool.
Yeah.
But my last question for you, obviously, this release is exciting having the episodes coming out, but do you have any future projects you could hint at or talk about?
Well, I have something in the pipeline. I can't really say too much about it, but it is with Paramount as well. I'm having a meeting for that next week. And other than that, I have a few. Well, I think I could say this. There was the latest Terminator video game that I played one of the lead characters on. I think that's just come out, so I just finished doing that. And other things that are under wraps, if I tell you, I gotta,
Yeah, don't want to get you in trouble, don't want to get me in trouble. So we'll just
but
we'll
you
leave.
will be seeing me on your screens. I'll tell you that.
Okay, I'll be on the lookout for that.
Awesome.
Yes. Well, congratulations on everything again, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, and good luck to you and your family. Take care of yourself.